What's going on, Lunacy fans slash wrestling fans in general? I am Kendo, and this is the very first episode of Lunacy Reviews with Kendo. Today I'm going to be reviewing the January 8th, 2026 episode. Today's episode had Mark Roberts and Zach Amico on commentary, and calling the action in the ring was the ringmaster. So, with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump right up into this bad boy. Alright, in the opening segment, we got Tony busting in. He's getting himself a little revenge on Jeff the Ref for what happened in last week's title match. Big Vito tries to pull him off. Vince Russo comes in. He says, "Look, Tony, you're out of control. You need to calm down. You need to cool out. Take a break, whatever." In the opening match, we have Danny Moe, and she will be taking on like Big Al, Alice Crawley. And then the stipulation in this match, because Big Al is the showrunner for the female division, she's going to make an added stipulation to where this match is a weapons match, but in the match she can only use the weapons. So, kind of not really too fair right there with all that. But anyway, pretty decent match. Kind of went back and forth. There wasn't as many weapons as I thought there was going to be. Uh, like I said, wasn't a spectacular match by any means, but it wasn't a horrible match either. See, she fucking slammed her onto the umbrella there. I think that was a painting, they said. One of the portraits from the art gallery. I think she hits her with a frying pan there. Like I said, she made the stipulation to where she could only have, or use the weapons, I should say. Danny Moe really didn't get much offense, a little bit right there, goes for the 3, but, only gets the 2. Here's the ending finisher. It's the DVD, the old Death Valley driver right into the trash can for the 1, 2, the 3. And here is your winner, Big Al, Alice Crawley. Alright, next they cut to a backstage segment. It's Jasmine St. Clair. She's trying to reach somebody. We're assuming the rest of the Monster Corporation on the phone. Willie Mack, I do believe, comes in. Yup. Willie Mack comes in and tells her that the boys aren't going to make it tonight for the prize match they're supposed to be having. And that he's going to end up going and putting her in the ring and putting her over his lap and giving her the spanking that her daddy should have. Pretty good segment. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I think both of these people are putting everything they have into their role. It then cuts to another backstage segment with Vince Russo and Big Al arguing over the alleged sexual harassment and or photos, whatever's supposed to be going on with them. I'm sure that will unfold in the upcoming weeks. I look forward to seeing what's happening with that because it's entertaining. Alright, next we cut back to the ring and we have Vampiro in the ring. The Juggalos gave him a very warm welcome, a very loud Vampiro chant. All he does here is basically hype up Madman Pondo as his Angel of Anarchy, I do believe he was calling him. Pondo comes out, as you can see. They talk about how Pondo is going to have a match with Mosh Pit Mike. I do believe that match is right after this segment. And Pondo proceeds to tell, Vampiro proceeds to tell Pondo that he wants to inflict as much pain on Mosh Pit Mike as he possibly can. And from what I've been told, the internet's actually up in arms about this match. Anyway, he goes on to talk about the main event, and the main event features James Storm, Cowboy James Storm, obviously, and Mr. Anderson. Again, he talks to them. This is the main event match is going to be a number 1 contenders match, and I do believe Vampiro says the first man to make the other man bleed will get a $10,000 bonus. Alright, this next segment I thought was pretty cool. This is supposed to be like one of those paid commercials that they've been doing. You know, people can send in their advertisement and, you know, paid advertisement, whatever. So they're essentially making it look like Violent J, who is no longer in charge and no longer in the company, is on the outs and he has to pay for a promo. I don't know who approved the promo, but either way, Violent J had to pay for promo on JCW. I thought this segment was really cool, and I was wondering how he's gonna come back into the company. All right, so this is the match with Pondo and Mosh Pit Mike. Uh, they didn't give Pondo intros because he was already in the ring. Match starts off with Pondo sitting on Santa's lap. Mike Claus is what I think they were calling him, but he doubles raised him. Again, this is why I said people on the internet were kind of open about their up in arms about this match because of the violence. But in all fairness, this is JCW. JCW has been known for this kind of thing since the beginning of it. Also, a fun fact that Mosh Pit Mike started off his JCW career in Madman Pondo's wrestling school, so this is kind of a student versus teacher match, if you will. Mike really doesn't get much of offense. A little eat the feet right there. Yeah, he doesn't really get too much offense. But like I said, it is kind of just a back and forth, good old hardcore JCW match. Kind of expect nothing less out of Pondo and Mike. Both of them are hardcore wrestlers. I like the cheese grater there. That's pretty cool. Gets the other side of the ring, makes sure all the fans get to see. Another thing I noticed on tonight's episode, when the new regime, if you will, or anyone affiliated with them is in the ring, it's always that new crooked Jeff the Ref in there. I don't know if that's planned or it's just coincidental, but I don't know. You'll see that again here later on. Looks like Pondo was trying to shove something through his tongue and or pliers. I don't know. Of course, the classic Pondo stop sign. Right up there. We got one of them boys. Cinder block with the sledgehammer to the nuts. And I think this one's about to get wrapped up real quick. Yep, right through the chairs with the Christmas balls. That crooked Jeff counts the 1, 2, 3. Pondo picks up the win. Okay, and after that match, we cut backstage again to Luigi Primo and Big Vito. Big Vito looking to get some pizzas, maybe for the boys, who knows. But Vito was unaware that Luigi Primo has a match, and Luigi said, hey, I got you for your pizzas, but it's going to have to be after the match. Then it cuts to Vito leaving, and you can see that Jasmine St. Clair says she needs that favor. Okay, match 3 is a 6-man scramble, and this match is for the #1 contender of the Juggalo United States Champion. We got Luigi Primo, Jeeves, Stephen Flo, Juggalo fan favorite Stephen Flo, Disco Ray. And I got some stuff to say about Disco Ray and this match. We'll get to that here in a minute. The broke ass Briar Wellington, no longer Richie Boy because he is now broke. Poor guy. Jeeves left him. He ain't got no money. And the return of the Neon Ninja Facade. Got a sign out there. Gonna spray paint that boy, give it to a fan. Everybody loves Facade. I got some of Facade's gauntlets on each side. Actually, I got one on each side. So this match instantly takes most people to the outside. I do believe, Facade and Stephen Flo put on a pretty good clinic. Both phenomenal athletes. I think both of their ring presence is great. Goes back and forth. Look at that. Look at that pin combination there. Jesus. This match actually does have a lot of action. I tried to get as much in it as I possibly could, but there was so much I just didn't want to overwhelm. I feel like this review is going to run pretty long as is. Luigi Primo with the pizza toss. And then here we go. Here we go. Jeeves and Disco Ray. I kept wanting to say Disco Stew, but I corrected myself. But they got the sweet dance moves. I don't know if he kisses him there or not. It kind of looked like he did. Kind of weird and awkward, but either way. So let me pause this real quick, just for 1 second. This is what I wanted to talk about. So the venue that they were at was Harpo's in Detroit. A lot of people have been there. A lot of people have not been there. If you've been to that venue, you know that there is an actual disco floor right smack dab in the middle of that venue. Now, as soon as I seen that Disco Ray was in this match, I was like, man, if they don't utilize that disco floor, somebody fucked up somewhere. So anyway, let's just jump right into this. They do the whole disco, blah blah blah, little wave thing, pass it back, even the pizza dough flies in the air. Anyway, my point being, that would have been way cooler to do on the disco floor, which you will see the disco floor later on in the main event. All right, back to the action. Luigi Primo fakes him out with the pizza dough. Disco Ray gets drop kicked down, goes to the outside. This is funny here, the ring rat, and you know she's no stranger to catching loads to the face, so that was nothing for her. But her newfound man, Jeeves, if that's just purely my speculation, came to the rescue. Stephen Flo taken out, Richie Boy. One more point about this match, with Jeeves being the old man servant and broke ass Briar Wellington no longer being with him. They should have had a spot where, you know, they met up. I don't remember it happening. If it did, I must have missed it. But again, I don't recall that happening. This part's pretty cool. Like I said, you know, the action goes out to the floor. There's the homie Tommy in the background in the crowd. Drops Luigi Primo right on the garlic knots, I do believe Zakamiko said. And here we go, the Neon Ninja off of that big 10-foot stage, 10 foot, maybe even higher. Again, if you've ever been to Harpo's, you know how high that stage is. It is ridiculously high. The fans, holy shit. And I do believe this is about to wrap this one up. Yep. Almost a coast-to-coast type move. 1, 2, 3. And your winner is Facade. Okay, next we cut backstage again to the Brothers of Funstruction. And I do believe that Big Vito, yep, right on time. Big Vito's about to run in on them. And, you know, he's pretty pissed off that they let him down last week. They said he took the payoff, and, you know, they ended up losing the titles to the Outbreak. We'll get into that later. Okay, match 4 was supposed to be Cocaine versus the newest member of the St. Clair Monster Corporation, the Beastman, but something happened with them, like we heard earlier in the show. That's what Willie Mack and Jasmine were back there talking about. So she says she's got a surprise opponent. That surprise opponent, none other than Big Vito. This episode kind of feels like the Big Vito show. He's been in a lot of segments so far. Vito gets in the ring. He cuts a quick little promo about Cocaine and the Juggalos and how he's going to make the Juggalos ban their face paint and take away the Fago, and how he's going to beat up Cocaine, the crackhead. I like the Big Vito character. I love me a good heel. But anyway, Cocaine comes out, and also this match is supposed to be an Italian street fight, I do believe they said. So, again, I feel like no DQ or whatever. That's why the referee, again, I believe is Jeff the Ref. Yep, crooked ass Jeff the Ref in there again. Go figure, the new regime, Vito and all them. We know he's on the payroll. He's got to be. Anyway, this match was pretty one-sided. Vito just kind of took advantage of Cocaine, bounced him around literally corner to corner, as you can see. Just took his time with him and really made Cocaine pay. You can tell that this is weeks and weeks of frustration for Big Vito. I do believe Cocaine gets a little bit of offense going, a few pinfall attempts. But again, Big Vito just taking full control over Cocaine. Also, Cocaine, one of my favorite characters here in JCW, Lunacy. I think most of the characters are so great. Anyway, look, couple little roll-ups here. Nothing major. Cocaine trying to get that quick win. I think what happened here is he wasn't able to partake in his original party favors, if you will. Here we go with the big stomp. I do believe Zach Amico coined this one the Pison Stomp. Uh, Not sure if that's copyrighted by Zach or not, but shout outs. Again, Big Vito just truly dominating. Cocaine trying to pump up, but to no avail. I think they go a little back and forth right here. Yep, yep. But to no avail, like I said, Cocaine tries, but every time he gets a little bit of offense going, Big Vito and or Jeff seem to just screw him over. Although that count seemed to be a little bit fair. Big boot to the face, but only a 2 count. I think this is where things turn. No, no, not quite yet. Big off the top lariat, I do believe. But again, only a 2 count. So I guess Cocaine off got a little bit more offense. Here we go. Now we're getting towards the end. Cocaine was going for the bag of coke, and Big Vito smashed him with the. Let me go ahead and correct you, Mr. Mark Roberts. The Kendo stick, not to be confused with a Singapore cane. Anyway, the ref calls for the bell. Let me pause this again real quick because this is something I didn't understand. Uh, they were beating Cocaine, or he was beating Cocaine with the Kendo stick. You know, took him outside, did all that damage, and the bell was never rang once. But as soon as Too Tough Tony and Willie Mack came into the ring, uh, Jeff the ref called for the bell again. You would think this match was be no DQ, and those guys didn't even touch anybody yet. So again, just falls into play with Jeff the ref, man. I know that guy's on the payroll. Damn crooked ass Jeff. But anyway, yeah, they come in and make Big Vito run away, saving Cocaine, if you will. You got to save the Cocaine. Then it leads into, that's right, Jasmine St. Clair. She's finally going to get that spanking that Willie Mack said he was going to give her, but just before he does it, Vince Russo comes out, and Russo informs Willie Mack and Too Tough Tony that since Violent J has been gone, they have been out of control. He informs them that this is his show, and he's running things now, and he's not going to stand for that. And, you know, these boys are like, what are you talking about? You know, we're just taking our revenge that we got coming. Anyway, Vince Russo decides he's going to suspend them indefinitely. And obviously you can tell Willie Mack and Too Tough Tony aren't happy about that at all. He tells them that they've been out of control and they need time to cool off. Then it jumps backstage again, and it basically just reiterates what happened in the ring. Vince Russo tells them that you know they've been out of control since Joe left, and that they need to take some time off to cool off. He even says he likes them so much that's why he didn't fire them, and he's even going to give them some comp tickets for the next few shows. That's how nice of a guy Vince Russo is. So, okay, match number 5 is the Outbreak. And Barnabas kind of uses a whole Road Dogg intro for him. I thought that was kind of slick. And the Outbreak definitely looks good with those titles. Outbreak taking on the Brothers of Funstruction. And this is another one I do believe Vito told them that they better get these titles back or it's not going to be good for them. This was a fun match. I like this one a lot. Right here, I do believe you got Abel trying to bite Ruffo, and Yavo is throwing the juggling balls to try to distract Abel, and then sprays him with the flour. Again, this was a really fun match. Like, these two teams together is just gold, and I think that's going to equal ratings to just keep this feud going. more back and forth action on this one. A lot of cool little, funny spots, because with character teams like this, there's a lot you can go with. Prime example right here. Rafa's got the Hulk hand on. I do believe that's Abel getting ready to take the big blow. Yep. What I liked about this match a lot is there was a lot of a great tag team moves and like just being on the same page, and that's I think with the outbreak, that's probably that one conjoined brain. That's why they're able to do that so well. Again, just my speculation, but it seems likely. They get a 2 count there. I do believe, yep, the popcorn to the face. I do believe that's Jackson in the ring right now. Jackson and Yabo. Here comes Raffo. Big clown boot to the face. Wild swing there. Another big clown boot to the face. Double coconut knocker here. I don't know if they even felt that again. One conjoined brain, so did that even affect them? Who knows? Here you can see Jackson does not get affected by the cock by any way, shape, or form. The big tie, almost like a big chop. Abel in there saving him. Here we go again with these great tag team moves. Again, I feel like that one conjoined brain can really help them with that. Okay, here comes the fuckery. Big Vito punches out Barnabas. He takes out the ref. And of course, he's calling out somebody new. Who do you think it's going to be? Oh, it's that crooked ass Jeff the Ref again. Distraction, balloon pop, 1, 2, 3. New tag team champions because of fuckery. The Brothers of Funstruction. And you can tell they knew they fucked up too. Because they get the belts and they get the fuck out of there real quick. Jeff the Ref, I don't know why he sticks around, but he fucked up too. And I'm wondering if the Brothers of Funstruction are going on a heel turn heel, or they're just taking the payoff from Big Vito. What's going on with that? Anyway, then it cuts to Jeff the Ref back in the ring with Barnabas, and Jeff knows he fucked up. Boom, double spray. Jeff's down and out. Barnabas going to give him the antidote? No, no, no. Barnabas just leaves him there. And the Outbreaker out. Jeff the Ref is left laying in the ring, lifeless. They had to have help come out and take him. They carry him out. That ends that segment. Hopefully Jeff's alright. I mean, I know he's crooked, but I don't want nobody to be like that. Next we cut to the Blast from the Past, and I'm just going to go ahead and let this one play. Started off with Kevin Steen, Zach Gowen. Now we got Bobby Lashley in there. It's always cool to see these old matches. I was actually at this pay-per-view. This was Bloody Mania 7. Matt Cross is in the match. It's a Rumble Royale is what they called it. I can't remember exactly how many men. Jimmy Wang Yang, another famous superstar. This match had a lot of star power in it. I think it did have a few JCW stars. Eugene, I think Hollywood Chuck Hogan is in it as well. Eugene fucking with my homie Upchuck. But yeah, these Blast from the Past matches are pretty cool. JCW's got a huge back library. Hurricane Shane Helms. Again, lots of star power in this match. Ooh, Bob Lashley with a big time spear. There he is, Hollywood Chuck Hogan. JCW legend, that's right. With a kendo stick. Of all things. Is that Kevin Steen about to pitch him out? There goes Hollywood Chuck. Most people might know Kevin Steen as Kevin Owens, WWE superstar. Also been through JCW. A lot of JCW superstars have been through JCW. Everybody getting dumped out. KO throwing everybody out. Let's see, I'm saying KO. Kevin Steen. I'm so used to his character nowadays. I think it comes down to Bobby Lashley and Matt Cross. Yep. Yep. Both of these guys getting their stuff in. That big shooting star press. And this was pretty phenomenal. Matt Cross pressing Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley goes and gets jumped over. And that's the end of that boy. Okay, match 6 is the main event, and it is scheduled for one fall. Starts off with the ringmaster introducing the special guest referee, A.T. Huck. You guys might know A.T. Huck from old school JCW videos and also ECW referee. Main event tonight again is Mr. Anderson taking on the Cowboy James Storm, and this match is a, what do they call it? Left for Dead last man standing match. And again, the stipulation here is an extra 10K for the man who makes the other man bleed first. Match starts off outside the ring. Match actually spent quite a bit of time outside the ring, which is surprising because for these two competitors, you would think it would be more in the ring competition than anything. Another thing I noticed is James Storm a lot of fan interaction, kind of cool, I guess. Another couple things I had issues with this match. I guess we'll get into them as they play out. But yeah, I guess it kind of makes sense with it being a last man standing match because last man standing matches are usually no DQ. You can do whatever just because the only way to win is your opponent has to be down for a 10 count, or if both of you guys go down, it's a double, I'm gonna get ready to pause it here again for a second. This is what I was talking about earlier. As you can, actually, you know what, I'm gonna pause it. You can clearly see the disco floor. This is what I was talking about earlier in that 6-man match. They should have used this and used the disco floor. It would have looked cool. There's the homie Andy Sherman. He almost got ran over from the JWO. A lot of juggalos in the building tonight. This match again goes all over the place, all over Harpo's. Harpo's is a very big venue, so lots of fucking place for this one to go. They use a lot of Rubbermaid trash cans. But yeah, like I was saying before, I'm surprised that they even went with the whole last man standing match for these two. If it were me, I would have just kept it more in the ring. Mr. Anderson getting the crowd out of the way. He's about to do a big move here to the Cowboy James Storm, but I do believe it backfires on him. Yeah. Right through the first 5 rows there. Match finally gets back into the ring, and I think we're about to have another one of my issues with this match. Yep. Nope, not quite just yet. More back and forth action. I think again with these two competitors, this match would have been way better than just having the ring. But then you couldn't have the whole 10K stipulation for first blood because, I mean, you could, but it'd be a lot harder. Mr. Anderson going dirty there. Obviously the heel in this match. Another thing I forgot to mention, the Juggalos were loving the Cowboy when he first came out. He's definitely over here in JCW. But here we go. That's what I'm talking about right there. This is a last man standing match. I'm not quite sure why they were going for pinfalls there, because in a last man standing match, you're supposed to knock your opponent down, and the referee's supposed to give him the 10 count. Here goes the old Juggalo favorite twist his dick. Again, James Storm over with the Juggalos, and it's stuff like this being the reason why. Throws him through the chair that Anderson set up. Here's another count. Again, I'm not sure why they're counting pinfalls in a last man standing match. Or left for dead match is what they're calling it. Here, A.T. Huck finally starts to count with both men down. Matt Cross comes out. And again, the bell gets rang for a no contest. But if this match was no DQ, how is it a no contest? Again, I'm just confused about that. I'm not sure why they went this way with the match. But the show pretty much ends with Matt Cross beating the shit out of both guys. And yeah, that's pretty much the end of the episode there. All right, well that is the very first episode of JCW Lunacy Reviews with Kendo. If you guys liked it, please go ahead and comment, like, share. If you haven't already, subscribe. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments. This one was a little bit long. I am going to try to shorten them down. This was the very first episode, kind of just playing around. I might do different things. I might even do them live. I'm definitely going to try to start getting them out a little bit sooner. Lunacy airs on Thursdays. I'm going to attempt to have them out by Friday nights, if not Saturday morning. But anyway, yeah, like I said, let me know in the comments what you like. Let me know your opinions on the show, each match, what you guys thought they could do better, or, you know, if they did great. You know, if you disagree with me, again, I'm just one man. These are only my views and opinions. Also, let me go ahead and say, I fucking love everything that JCW is doing right now. They're hitting on full throttle, and I think everybody's working extra hard, and you can tell. So take anything I say with a grain of salt, because yes, I'm calling it how I see it, but I also love everything that they're doing right now. And if I could change anything, it would just be very little bit, not much at all. But till next week, whoop whoop, and peace. Master!